Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Let's dig in. Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
Have you ever felt like you were just the right person at the right place at the right time with the right words or actions for the situation? That's a great feeling because you know God put you there and gave you the words or actions needed. It wasn't coincidence or fate or anything else. It was God using you for your intended purpose. He's been doing that generation after generation for millennia now, bringing people together to fulfill His purposes and work all things together for good. Just look at Esther. She started out as an orphaned Jewish teenager and ended up in the palace because she was pretty. After something of a beauty pageant, Esther became queen. God had orchestrated the whole situation because He knew that Haman, the advisor of the king, would have a chip on his shoulder against the Jews and try to have them all destroyed. The whole book of Esther is an amazing illustration of how God in His sovereignty controls each detail of each person's life, so that it all works together for our good and His glory. His timing is perfect, never too late, but never too early either. Esther in her position as queen plays a key role. Though she doesn't have authority of her own, God puts her in a position to have the ear of the king at a crucial time. He also gives her the discernment not to say anything until just the right moment. Esther's cousin Mordecai, who advises her, encourages her to stand up for her people, even risking her own life. He said, "Who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this?" God had her right where He wanted her, to rescue His people in the nick of time. God had Esther positioned as the queen of Persia to do something big. But how about the little slave girl of 2 Kings 5:2-3? Queen Esther rescued the entire Jewish nation and had a whole Bible book named after her. We know her Persian name, Esther, and her Jewish name, Hadassah. We know a little of her lineage through her guardian and cousin Mordecai, but this little slave girl barely has 2 verses, only 1 line in the whole play. We don't even know her name. But if it weren't for her, we wouldn't have the rest of the chapter. She was a slave, captured by her Gentile master and given to his wife. Yet she wasn't bitter toward this man who broke up her family and carted her off to a foreign country. Chance didn't bring her to her position, or Naaman to his for that matter. This girl was not a victim. Instead, she chose to be a vessel. Her compassion for her master and his condition of having leprosy led her to give him hope, and to plant seeds that started him on his faith journey to Israel, where he found healing, both physically and spiritually. That slave girl was in her position for just a time as this, every bit as much as Esther was. And so are you, whether slave or queen or anything in between. God has put you where you are for a reason. He has a purpose and a plan, not only for the big important things like saving a whole nation of people, but also for encouraging and reaching out to individuals. So yes, God put you in your particular job, in your unique family, in your specific church, even in that precise line at the grocery store, and on that phone call at that exact time for such a time as this. Your time is in His hands, and He has a purpose.
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes at our website, which you can find in the description below. Thanks for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.